How many times have you had good intentions for your nutrition plan for the week, only for it to fall apart by Tuesday? Are you struggling to come up with an easy meal plan that actually works for you and isn't going to cost you hundreds of dollars in food? Are you overwhelmed with all the options and don't know where to start? In today's episode, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do to meal plan for the week in just under 10 minutes. The best part is, you'll probably save money in the process and you'll know exactly what to make, what to pull out of the freezer when, and there will be no confusion and you'll be able to stay on track. So grab a pen and paper and let's do this. So let's get into today's episode, which is all about how to meal plan for the entire week in just under 10 minutes. I'm going to give you my exact way of doing this that saves me so much time and so much money. So you can certainly do this on a piece of paper or you could do it in the calendar on your phone, but I highly recommend getting a whiteboard from Amazon or Walmart or Target, one that has all the days of the week listed out plus a little note section so that you can make a few notes on there. The whiteboard you need to hang in your kitchen somewhere that it is visible. That is really, really important to the success of all of this, because otherwise, if you have it on a piece of paper or in your phone, I feel like you don't see it and then you just kind of forget about your plan and things are not executed. So I highly encourage you to get a whiteboard. I will link one below for you that will work, but they're relatively inexpensive, so shouldn't be a big deal. So what you're going to do first is on that whiteboard, you're going to look at your calendar and you're going to cross off any dinners that you will not be home for, eat at home for, you won't be able to cook, or whatever the reason is. You're going to just kind of X out that day, but at the same time, you're going to write down what you're going to be eating instead, or what your meal is going to be, so that you know you have some sort of a plan and that night is just not completely lost. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to look in your fridge, your freezer, your pantry, and see what you have available to make meals out of. So look for things like some frozen meats, look for maybe some beans, some rice, some pasta. Maybe you have some bread, maybe you have frozen vegetables or salad or fresh vegetables. Whatever you have, you want to just kind of make a mental note of that and then think about what meals can I make out of what I have already. So all you need to do when you have a meal is you need a carbohydrate, a protein, a vegetable, and then a fat source. Usually the fat source is you're going to be cooking in some type of oil or something like that. So probably not a big deal to make sure that that is a big component of your meal, but definitely you want to make sure that you're having a protein, a carbohydrate, and a vegetable. So think of, what do you already have? Most people already have like frozen chicken and frozen vegetables that you can throw together. And a lot of people probably have rice and pasta or quinoa or something like that in their pantry. So there you go. You can just make a meal out of that. So maybe you want to do some baked chicken with some steamed rice and a frozen vegetable that you have in your freezer. It does not need to be anything fancy. You're literally just putting the components together to make a meal. Now, if you do want to get a little bit fancier, or you are like, I have no idea what to make out of what I have, you can just Google, give me a recipe for chicken and rice, or whatever ingredients that you have on hand, and it will give you a ton of different recipes. Don't get overwhelmed with this. You're just going to pick a recipe, and then if you need additional ingredients, you're going to write them on the little note section on your whiteboard. Or what I do is I just tell my phone to add it to my family grocery list. I have a little list on my iPhone that is specifically for my grocery list. And then that way I don't have to remember to write it down. I just tell my phone to do it for me. And then I have my list with me when I go to the grocery store. You can make your list however you want to, but you can Google the recipe, or there is a free app that you can use, which is called Supercook. And Supercook is great because you can go in there and say the same thing. These are the ingredients that I have. Give me some recipes, and it'll spit out a bunch of recipes for you. So once you get your recipes, you're going to plan at least 4 meals for the week. Unless you have more days blocked off than that, go ahead and schedule 4 meals for the week. It does not matter how you schedule them and in what order. That's completely up to you, but you're going to schedule those meals ideally based off of what you already have. And then again, you'll just add those extra ingredients that you need from the grocery store onto your grocery list. And when you cook those meals, you want to cook a lot of them. you want to cook a lot of that meal. So double that recipe so that you have more leftovers for another dinner or for lunches. So now you don't have to worry about lunches, and now you can schedule in 1 to 2 leftover nights for your dinners. So let's say what I do is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I cook meals. Thursday, I always do a leftover night. Friday, I try to do something easy, like we'll do breakfast for dinner, or maybe we'll do pizza and salad, something like that. Saturday, I will schedule something that is maybe a little bit more involved. Like sometimes I will smoke something, or maybe we're going to go out to eat, whatever the case is for Saturday. And then Sunday, we always do a group dinner with people from our church. So I don't need to really worry about Sundays. That is my plan for the week. And you will get into the routine of what works well for you. But I'm just scheduling in 1 leftover night per week. But sometimes it actually turns into 2 leftover nights for the week because I just have extra food that I cooked. And then I'll just take out, maybe whatever I planned for Saturday. And then now I have my whole week is complete. And then since this is all on a whiteboard in your kitchen, all you need to do is just look at that whiteboard each day. Chances are you're just going to glance at it anyways, and figure out what you need to pull out of the refrigerator, figure out what you need to pull out of the freezer so that you can thaw it out a couple days in advance. And now you're not scrambling the day of like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to pull out the ground beef or the chicken or the fish or whatever. And now dinner is not going to be ready. Another thing you do want to consider when you are scheduling these meals is if you know you're going to get home from work late one night, or you have something going on late, schedule yourself an easy meal, like maybe something that you can throw into the crock pot that will be cooking all day, or something that will cook fast, like fish generally cooks pretty fast, or you can boil some pasta or something like that, or make it a leftover night. Just think about those things ahead of time, and that will make your life so much easier. But after that, you're done. You are done. And that will take really only 10 minutes at the most. I've been using this method for the past several years, really since I had kids. And I used the whiteboard in the past year or two, which is really upped my game. And it has helped me so much to stay on track with what I'm cooking for the week. It saved me so much money, and it has saved me so much time, as well as my sanity. And I hope it does the same for you.